Hello, I'm Rodney Lopez, and I am with the admissions office here at the Gordon School. And you're watching Faces in the Hallway, where we just invite someone from the faculty or from the staff who is in the hallway to come inside and talk to us about their area of expertise or their amazing program here at the Gordon School. And today I am pleased to be talking with our Chief Financial Officer, Tom Cicatiello. Tom, thanks for talking with me today.
Yeah, absolutely, Rodney. It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. So, first of all, let me start with how long have you been working here at Gordon?
I have been at Gordon, I'm in my 23rd year.
23 years. And so, Tom, in those 23 years, what have you noticed about finances in the independent school space? How have things changed from when you started in this work to now?
The independent school landscape has become more inclusive. So the families that I see independent schools attracting are more diverse socioeconomically than they were when I first started.
Gordon, for the last few years, has implemented a program called Family Individualized Tuition, or FIT for short, and it's distinct from the typical financial aid model that most independent schools operate under. Can you speak to us about the key differences and distinctions between family individualized tuition and financial aid?
We believe that we need a diverse student body to have the education that we wish to have for our students, right? And if there's going to be diversity in the classroom, then we know that there needs to be diversity in the prices that are offered, and each one of those students are needed for us to do what we do, right? So it's not about the school giving any type of aid to a family. We believe it's more, the reality is, which it is families are investing in us, right. And we need them here for us, like I said, for us to do our programs.
So what would you say to someone who says, okay, well, that sounds good, but isn't that just a semantic difference? Isn't that just financial aid by another name? How would you respond to that?
And you could say it's just semantic, but semantic is what builds the community and the culture around it. And I believe that a family at Gordon is acknowledged for their investment in the school, in the community. When we bill families, we bill them their price, right? Because that is their, every family has their own full price. They have their customized price. Where in the old system, families were billed what was known as the full price, and then would receive a credit for their financial aid. And I think that every month that's a reminder, you're not paying your fair share. So what we did is we implemented a system where we give families a price for 3 years. So they can plan and they can predict. And all our families have a really good understanding of how the system works. So they can understand, okay, this is, my tuition commitment represents this amount of my household budget, and that it's going to stay relatively consistent to that throughout your time here at Gordon. So we've improved families' ability to plan, and we've taken a lot of the anxiety out of the annual process that wasn't very clear.
Families have choices, and they often apply to multiple schools in 1 year. What would you say to a family who says, well, I've applied to another school, and when I got my financial aid package, it's looking like I'm going to be paying a much lower price at this other school than the fit price I'm being assigned by Gordon this year. Shouldn't I just go with the school that's awarding me a lower tuition price this year? What would you say to that family?
And what I would say to a family that gets the lower price is sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you go and you represent a need of the school, and you may get a really good deal. But what you don't know is what that looks like for your whole time. And you have to do this, you have to do it every year. Where in our case, yes, if our price is higher, and usually we don't see it. It's not like, 5 figures difference.
Sure.
But there may be differences. When you look at our price, you know what your trajectory will be for your whole time at Gordon. You'll have a good understanding of that. You'll be able to plan. You won't have to go have the anxiety of doing it every year. And you also know that your price is equitably, or the system is equitably allocated throughout the whole school. So there's no like, who got the better price, or,
Sure.
who's, who got lucky that one particular year and the school needed. Everybody is, again, same system, equitably applied, and I always have this kind of vision of like the whole community like holding up the school.
Yes.
And everybody's holding up, everybody has their arms extended the same amount. And that's the way, we think of what our system has accomplished.
And so there's so a family can feel good about, number one, the transparency that's involved in assigning a price or coming up with a price based on, kind of based on their income or their economic profile, as you said earlier.
Right.
But I think more importantly, it changes the perception of receiving something as opposed to investing in something. Everyone is investing in this community.
Absolutely. Yes.
This has been Faces in the Hallway. I've had the opportunity to spend some time with Gordon's Chief Financial Officer, Tom Cicatiello. Tom, thanks for spending some time with me today.
Absolutely. Thank you, Rodney.
All right, so we'll see who's the next face in the hallway that we can bring in to talk about their program. We'll see you in the next installment.